All right, let's jump right in. Look at this statement. Clients care more about ranking in the map pack than their actual website. That is a massive realization. For local businesses, it turns out that little maps section on Google is the absolute holy grail of local SEO. I mean, it routinely outranks traditional websites and drives immediate, incredibly high-intent customer traffic.
Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at a complete step-by-step blueprint from our source material on how to take a business from completely invisible to literally dominating local search. We are unpacking the ultimate local SEO blueprint for Google business profiles.
Here's our roadmap for today. We've got a really clear blueprint. Starting with the power of the map pack, moving right into gathering crucial client information, then creating and verifying profiles before hitting mastering categories with AI, and we'll finish strong with supercharging with semantic services.
So, let's get right to it. Section 1, the power of the map pack. What's so fascinating here is this idea of achieving top-tier visibility without even needing a website. Take Professor Dental, an example from our source data. They build immense customer trust entirely through the map pack. They can completely bypass the need for a complex, expensive website and still pull in the lion's share of local traffic. It's a real game changer.
Moving into our foundation, Section 2, gathering crucial client information.
The blueprint highlights that getting the exact right data up front basically prevents major headaches later on. So, for a totally frictionless setup, you absolutely need these raw materials: the exact business name, primary and secondary categories, and a highly specific address. We're talking down to the exact house number and block. You also need a screenshot of their exact map marker location, contact details, and visual assets like logos and exterior shots.
Now, there's a key distinction you have to make during setup. For a physical location, like a walk-in dental clinic, the exact street address is fully visible to the public. But for a service area business, like a plumber who travels out to you, you still enter an address on the back end, but it remains strictly hidden from the public.
Multi-location businesses, they have their own set of rules. Take a restaurant like Sultan's Dine, with branches in Mirpur 10 and Mirpur 12. The source material is crystal clear on this. Each distinct physical branch requires its very own dedicated Google profile, and most importantly, its own specific landing page link on the website. Never, ever link multiple profiles back to a single generic homepage.
All right, Section 3, creating and verifying profiles. So here is a brilliant little workaround to avoid getting instantly banned. Google is hypersensitive to suspicious activity. So if an SEO specialist tries to build a profile for a client halfway across the world, it triggers immediate red flags. The optimal solution here? Use remote access tools to build the profile directly from the client's actual local PC and IP address.
Then comes navigating Google's mandatory video verification. Often, they're going to demand a continuous one-shot video to prove you actually own the place. You have to capture 3 things perfectly. First, show the outside surroundings and street signs. Second, show the permanent printed signage of the business itself. And third, walk inside and show proof of operational access, so opening the cash register or pointing out an official trade license.
Which brings us to our advanced tactics in Section 4, mastering categories with AI.
This right here reveals the exact mathematical limits you need to maximize if you want to dominate rankings. The absolute formula for success is 1 primary category up to a maximum of 10 secondary categories and injecting 30+ highly specific services. Leaving any of these blank, you're basically just leaving money on the table.
But obviously, this begs a pretty massive question. How do you actually choose the perfect category? Like, how can you be absolutely certain you're picking the exact ones Google algorithmically wants to see for your specific niche?
Well, the answer involves a little bit of corporate espionage. You don't guess, you audit. By using a free Chrome extension called GMB Everywhere, you can legally spy on your top 3 competitors. Say your target is NYC Plumbers. You can see exactly what primary and secondary categories the #1 ranking business is secretly using behind the scenes, and you just extract that data.
Once you have that competitor intel, the source recommends feeding it, along with the client's actual real-world services, directly into Gemini AI. You literally just prompt the AI to act as a senior local SEO specialist, to filter that massive list down into only official, Google-approved secondary categories. The AI does all the heavy lifting for you, which completely prevents you from using fake categories that Google would just flat out reject. Let's hit our final phase, Section 5, supercharging with semantic services.
To truly supercharge a profile, you have to ensure search engines understand exact context. This is a concept known as semantic web alignment. Think of it like this. A cricket bat clearly belongs to the sport of cricket, not table tennis, right? Well, if a specific service gets placed under the wrong parent category in a Google profile, it breaks that semantic connection and suddenly holds zero SEO weight.
Here's how that mapping actually plays out in practice. You use the AI to logically map high-intent custom services directly to their mathematically correct secondary categories. Toilet installation goes strictly under the plumber category. Boiler repair must be categorized under heating contractor. If you mix these up, you just end up confusing Google's entity mapping, and your rankings will completely plummet.
Remember that formula of 30+ services? Leveraging that sheer volume is absolutely key here. Adding 30 or more custom services is essentially like giving your profile 30+ massive keyword injections. When you add a custom service like emergency leak repair, you're capturing a hyper-specific, super high-intent local search that your competitors are probably completely ignoring.
It is really important to distinguish between the two types of services here, though. Predefined services are just the built-in Google suggestions you absolutely have to tick off to show completeness. But the unmatched ranking power? That lies in custom services, the high-intent, real-world user search queries that you are manually injecting into the profile to just crush the competition.
Which brings us to a final, slightly provocative thought to leave you with. Knowing that the map pack literally outranks traditional websites, how many custom keyword services are you going to add to the very next profile you build? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now you have the exact blueprint you need to get out there and start optimizing.